Well, greetings, race fans. We have a new season underway here, and the SCSRA Devs Sports Cards Cup Series. I'm excited here with intensity here tonight. It's Jakester along for the call. And tonight, opening the new season number 12, here at Daytona with the duels. We'll still call it the duels, even though it's a single. Actually, we might have enough cars in the field to do an actual true pair of duels. We'll see. 22 drivers in the field here. I don't know if it'll break it up into two groups of 11. We'll have to wait and see. But they are honoring Tammy Butchino. I don't want to butcher this. Butchino. With the season this year, it'll be the Tammy Butchino Memorial Cup Series here for Season 12, 2026 SCSRA Dev Sports Cards Cup Series. And of course, the son of Tammy, we're going to have in the field here tonight, Devin Butchino. Right there, out there, making some laps. He hasn't yet turned a lap here in practice. I'm sure racing with a heavy heart, but paying honors to his mom, who passed away just a month or two ago now. But with the heaviness aside, there is excitement in the field here tonight. Some new names that I personally haven't seen run here in the SCSRA Cup Series getting ready to roll here tonight for the 35-lap duel. Of course, we got some familiar names in the field. Your defending champion I'm not seeing on the lineup here yet. We do have a couple drivers racing for Cypress Academy here tonight, but I'm still going to have to get up to speed on what all happened during the offseason. It was a pretty quick offseason here for these drivers. We basically just ended Season 11 back in February. So here we are, midway through March roughly. First week of February was when Season 11 concluded. So that's the quickest turnaround for some of these teams, just getting 1 month of a breather. Definitely exciting for all of us who get to tune in and watch some more SCSRA Cup racing action. Definitely digging that Greg Biffle tribute scheme, the number 16 National Guard entry there. That is David Hartney. As I mentioned, some unfamiliar names. He's definitely one of those drivers that I had not seen race in Season 11. And he is racing for Neon Racing. So a teammate with the likes of Josh Hall and Ryan Gomes. As long as that is up to date. I'll trust it for now until anyone says otherwise, but Neon Racing there, David Hartney in the number 16 machine. Behind that, you got the number 8 listed as number 12, but he's currently driving the number 8 machine here tonight. That is Samuel Green. And the guy that puts most of the sponsoring backing this series, Dev's Sports Cards Cup Series, that's him right there, Devin Butchino, out of Morrisonville, New York. A career tally that would chronicle those of the big-time NASCAR drivers out there. 8-time SCSRA champion with 3 in the Cup Series, 1 in Xfinity, and 4 in the Truck Series. Definitely seeing some very new paint schemes here, which is always fun in a brand new season. Matte bands. Yeah, it looks like I'm going to have to get up to speed on the new teams that have joined too. So tonight may not be the most polished broadcast, but I guarantee you I will do my research, do my study after tonight's duels to give you the best coverage on all the different teams out there. I was very accustomed to the likes of Cypress Academy, your defending champions of the series, Neon Racing, of course, Royalty Motorsports, and even, I'm not seeing... seeing one of the teams that I remember, so perhaps some team name changes even that I am unaware of. So we only got 1 minute 50 seconds left in practice here. They will qualify as normal, where they will set their lineup for the duels here tonight. But as we got just a little bit of time left here in practice, let me go ahead and give a shout out to some of the sponsors that help Intensity keep things rolling. Ultimately, of course, the first and foremost, we want to acknowledge Dev Sports Cards Cup Series, the primary sponsor of the SCSRA Cup Series. If you are watching tonight's broadcast, just know that Dev Sports Cards has auctions available on eBay right now. From star rookies to vintage chase cards, plus 25-cent combined shipping on qualifying orders. If you want to support the people who support sim racing, check out Dev Sports Cards on eBay before those listings expire. And of course, none other than Butt Kicker. I would love to maybe figure out a way to get us a graphic for the cautions. We are using Butt Kicker as our honorary caution replay footage, bringing a whole new dimension to immersive entertainment. Butt Kicker has pioneered tactile feedback technology that lets you feel the action. Whether you're behind the wheel in a sim rig, watching a blockbuster in your home theater, or in the studio dialing in the low end. With 2 decades of industry leadership, their haptics transducers convert audio signals into physical vibration, turning sounds into sensations. If you've ever wished you could feel that racing shift, explosion, or bass drop, Butt Kicker makes it real. And that is the end of practice here. As qualifying is going to get underway, we'll go ahead and swap up our ticker here just a little bit. And we'll go ahead and we'll call out our other sponsor here as cars get ready to take the field for qualifying. In racing, everyone prepares for the competitors they can see, but one of the toughest opponents a driver can face never shows up on the timing screen. The hidden opponent is tackling the mental health battle inside the helmet, educating athletes, supporting teams, and giving the racing community language, tools, and leadership to talk about what usually stays silent. Because when drivers confront the hidden opponent, it doesn't just make them faster, it makes the whole garage stronger. So the hidden opponent has been putting together at least finding coaching and all that to get drivers and sports athletes to tackle the mental health battle that often they have to face year in, year out. Great groups supporting us here with Intensity, and glad to give the shout out when I can. Check them out in the links down below if any of those pique your interest or even just want to learn more about them. Just check out those links down low here on the YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch, wherever you're watching tonight. Welcome aboard, everyone. Mostly everyone looks like on YouTube here tonight, qualifying for the Daytona Duel event here with the SCSRA Tammy Butchino Memorial Cup Series. And right now we have our eyes on Matt Baines, who had a stellar run here at Daytona last year. Hopefully the internet pulls through for me here tonight. We have 50-mile-an-hour winds from where I'm at, and kind of batten down the hatches, try to keep from having everything blow away here. But hopefully wherever everyone else is at, hopefully staying warm, safe, whatever the case. Hopefully it's not blowing 50 miles an hour like it is here. So top of the board here with the first round of green flag laps. Ryan Gomes, top spot. Jump now to Craig Schroeder in the number 65 machine. It's going to be kind of a hot potato. We'll just kind of follow along as they bounce around on the timing score loops here. Austin Fassett moves up to 7th and then drops back a spot there. Looks like he's content with his lap time, and he's going to settle in. Jeffrey Goodpaster jumps up to the top, and now Matt Parasini, number 1 on the board. Parasini, of course, for Cypress Academy. We all remember him in the top 4 last year. Kind of changed up the platform this year. No longer do we have the playoffs. We're bringing back the chase here with the SCSRA Sports Cards Cup Series. And it'll be interesting to see how these drivers approach the new format, which is relatively unfamiliar for most of them, as they've been accustomed to the playoff Final Four approach the last several seasons. So looks like Matt Parasini with the fastest lap here. We do have one other driver jump up on the board right at the end of qualifying. Shane Hines in the number 67 machine, 4th fastest. Sharn Hill, good for an 11th in qualifying here. David Hartney parks it. I believe that's turn 2. And good for 15th in the 16 Greg Biffle tribute scheme. Matthew Hobbs looks like his last timed lap here didn't improve any. Still good for 18th overall. And you got Cameron Craighead. Wow! Right at the buzzer. He glued it to the top of the leaderboard. Fastest lap right as qualifying ran out. So Cameron Craighead with the pole position here tonight. And it looks like it is just going to be a solo duel here tonight. So it's not going to break it down the middle. We're not going to have 12 and 12. Looks like all 24 cars. Maybe, maybe not. It might just do the gridding process here, and we'll see. But if that's the case, it is only going to be a single duel here tonight. 35 laps the distance. And wherever you finish, I want to say even numbers set the inside line and odd numbers set the outside line. So if you finish first here, you're obviously front and center. I don't think they play by the same qualifying rules necessarily, where pole position guarantees you starting on the pole. But let me see if I can figure. Okay, yeah, the front row is set right now. So Cameron Craighead and Matt Perisini are your pole setters. They get to start 1, 2. They can kind of take it easy here in the duel, drop back if they need to, save their stuff so they don't tear up their vehicle. But here is your starting lineup. Obviously, Cameron Craighead and Matt Perisini, followed by Jeffrey Goodpaster and Christopher Bishop. Then you've got Shane Hines and Craig Schroeder, Ryan Gomes and BJ Holton, Lauren Vincent and Dana Ryan, Matt Baynes and Sharon Hill. That is your top 12. And then it's like 13th, it is Josh Hall, Nicholas Walthorn, Ryan Hufford, David Hartney, Austin Fassett, Devin Butchino, Matthew Hobbs, Cale Thorpe, with Corey Bunch, Samuel Green, Keith Resmondo, and Teddy Romanowski. As the drivers collect their final thoughts here before the green flag drops, getting those tires warmed up a little bit. Super speedway racing, often a wild card. You never know what's going to happen. And obviously track position is always key, but not as much at a super speedway where you can come from the back and win a race pretty easily. So 24 cars. That means we'll see 24 cars. If they didn't make the duel here tonight, then they will relegate themselves to the back for the main event next week. So we could see a field larger than 24. Hopefully we don't see a field smaller than that. But definitely the season opener, always a little bit more cars out there on the field than often throughout the full season. So the best of the best get ready to lay it out on the line here tonight in the SCSRA Cup Series. Pace car pulls off, leading them to the green. It's Cameron Craighead and Matt Perisini. Already getting off to some bump drafting up at the front of the field here. Jeffrey Goodpaster gets in there right behind the one of Craighead. Also, you got Shane Hines on the low side. That inside line looking a little bit excitable there as they're kind of slicing and dicing, trying to find a happy spot to get in the draft. Craighead has the advantage. Now, at the super speedways, you obviously do not want to go below the yellow line, but you can if you decide to drop further. You just are not allowed to advance your position under the line. So what you'll see is drivers tend to actually drop backwards there, and they'll drop below the yellow line to let everyone around them. That looked like we had one driver that did that. Kind of go into safety mode. Don't want to push the envelope too early here tonight. Try to play it safe. Wait for the chaos to unfold before you really go racing for the win here tonight. 35 laps is a pretty quick blip, so you don't want to get too safe and fall too far back. But for sure, it's kind of the most excited at the start of a race, and that's often the time where you kind of want to hit the chill button. Just kind of fall back in line and let all the craziness unfold. Here we go, battle for the lead. That might be Jeffrey Goodpaster leading at the line. Not quite. I think he was second at the line there, but he's gotten an advantage on the outside he's trying to capitalize on. Back second on the inside line, that is Gomes in the 55 machine. Ooh, that was a gnarly bump from the one of Craighead into the 67 of Hines. They kept it all good there, but it could have got a little bit out of control. There we go. Goodpaster leads that lap for sure here on lap number 5. So I'd like to kind of focus on the schedule ahead of us here as this race just getting started. Season number 12 of the SCSRA Cup Series. Obviously, we got Daytona to start the season. Then you're going to have Michigan, Rockingham, and Kansas. Kind of a very unique separation of track types there. Michigan almost feels kind of like a super speedway at times, but not with the same drafting package of a Daytona. And then Rockingham kind of feels like a short track, even though it's just a little bit over a mile. Kansas, a mile-and-a-half track, which often termed the cookie cutters or intermediate. That's where the bread and butter of NASCAR racing usually, the talent kind of falls into there. But we don't have that many mile-and-a-half tracks on the calendar this year. Kansas alone is the only mile-and-a-half track that we're going to go to. Well, and Charlotte. I noticed Charlotte's there. We're going to hit the Charlotte Roval and the mile-and-a-half for the Coke 600, the Coke 400 of SCSRA Cup Series. Charlotte will be the regular season finale, whereas then you'll hit Richmond, Chicagoland, Auto Club, and Bristol as the first 4 races of the chase, with the championship decider at Las Vegas this year. So one more mile-and-a-half track, 3 of them out of the 15. So 1/5 of the season at mile-and-a-half tracks. No stages in the duel here tonight. It's going to be 35 laps from green to checkers, or green to yellow to checkers, however we end up getting to the checkered flag here tonight. Well, the number 1 of Cameron Craighead still continuing to hold that lead. Someone exiting pit road there. That looks like the 15 of BJ Holton. 2 cars, 1 lap down right now. BJ Holton and Matthew Hobbs. 22 cars on the lead lap. Josh Hall has fallen off the lead draft. Could be at risk of going a lap down if he doesn't get a caution to help him here. And now to the top spot, Matt Baines. Get back to kind of what I was trying to talk about Baines earlier. He had a good run here at Daytona last season. Whoa, Matt Baines goes way off the track there. How did I miss that? I look away for 5 seconds and all I see was him dropping off the apron. Did he get clipped? So that's the 60 of Jeffrey Goodpaster. Get a little bit out of sorts there. And maybe it just got a little too dicey for him up front. At least he lives to fight for more laps here tonight, but it's going to be a lot tougher now that he's, he got loose. He got hooked by the 60 there of Goodpaster. Good
yellow
save.
flag is out.
And now we have a yellow flag on track. A little bit topsy-turvy, we missed that, but here is where the caution happens. That is the 24 of Matt Parasini and the 49. Wow, that is a big one here in the duel, folks. I'm still trying to figure out. I don't think car numbers match up with the numbers of the drivers. So that number 49 Nutrien ride. Figure out if it's okay. Dana Ryan, who is actually listed as the 01 car on our transponder, he's in the 49. He clips the 24 of Matt Parasini, and unfortunately everyone else with nowhere to go. That was the 60 of Jeffrey Goodpaster, the 16 of David Hartley, and a few others. Ow, hard hit on Teddy Romanowski there after the fact. Yeah, just maybe a little bit of bump drafting gone wrong. The 24 got clipped hard there. Also involved in the wreck, it looks like that is the 8 car. 20 of Cale Thorpe. Whoa, what a lucky break here for Keith Resimondo as he was able to blow up on the brakes there, get his car into the safe zone. That 8, that's the 8 of Samuel Green. 54 of Nicholas Walthorn involved in it as well. And I think the 88 of Austin Fassett was also involved. So, kind of a shake-up here. 23 laps to go. Gonna kind of hit the reset button after the racing was getting just a little too close for comfort out there. Coming off the pits with the lead, he's still, Craighead manages a pit stop and comes out with the lead again. Now up into second place, you're going to have the 23 of Christopher Bishop. Sharon Hill up to third. Devin Butchino in fourth. Ryan Gomes in fifth. Lauren Vincent sixth. Craig Schroeder seventh. Matt Bands eighth. Samuel Green ninth. Then you got Shane Hines rounding out your top 10. Ryan Hufford in 11. Looks like that's got some discernible damage on the 83 machine that he's in. Keith Resmondo comes out in 12th here. Corey Bunch right behind him in 13th. Nicholas Walthorn. Cale Thorpe. Austin Fassett. Josh Hall. Jeffrey Goodpaster. Dana Ryan. And BJ Holton, your top 20. Matt Parasini spending some extra time on pit road, getting damages addressed there, as well as the 16 of David Hartney and the 8 of Teddy Romanowski. Looks like Matthew Hobbs is out of the race right now, so. Well, folks, this gives us a nice, neat little reprieve, a little reset here in tonight's action. As the duel is heading off into the sunset, you can already see the shade effectively blocking the front stretch of the racetrack here. Very, very different conditions from the front to the back side of the track, as they're going to be racing into the shade, where it's a little bit cooler and still on the back side a little bit brighter and warmer. Won't be that way for too long as they're racing into the sunset. But definitely something for a driver to adjust to, as it does kind of throw you a curveball, not knowing the track conditions by heart when they start changing like this. Well, it looks like they do the choose cone here at Daytona, and Christopher Bishop takes the inside. Cameron Craighead took the outside, even though he had number 1 position coming out of the pits. He decided to opt for the outside line for the restart here. Second row back, you're going to have Sharon Hill and Devin Butchino. Sharon Hill in that 5 machine. Definitely hard to miss with the metallic gold ghost emblem on the side. Very slick looking ride. Reminds me of Kyle Larson's ride from Las Vegas last year with the Zach Brown band paint scheme with the gold and black. Pace car is pulling off. We're going to get rolling here with 21 laps to go in tonight's duel.
Green, green, green.
Great start on the outside, slow start on the inside. Everyone kind of settled out single file right now, from the lead on back to almost, I'd say, about 15th place. So Devin Butchino up to the lead now, with Lauren Vincent pushing right behind him. Vincent stay single file for very long, as they have now swapped it up and they're running all over the racetrack at the moment. Butchino with Vincent, that outside line. You got the one of Craighead, who's now lost the lead. Doesn't have any partners on the outside, no friends to help draft with. A very desolate spot to be, as he's losing spot after spot with the inside line drafting right around him. Meanwhile, your top, I'd say about 8, starting to drive away. Oh, and they're wrecking in the background. Sorry, folks, I'm doing some slight adjustments to try and get the sounds a little bit more equalized, as from the stream it sounds like I'm very quiet. Cars are very loud. Sometimes that's all right, but if you can't hear what I'm saying, then it's kind of hard to know what I'm calling here. So made some adjustments. It seems like maybe I got it fixed just a little bit. So if in chat, if it sounds better, please let me know. I'm watching the chat bar. Let me know if I made it better or worse. So, second yellow here tonight. And it's going to involve, looks like, cast of characters at the back of the field here. Cale Thorpe in the number 20. You got Cale Thorpe right there on the inside. He clips. That is Dana Ryan in a second wreck here tonight. Fortunately, collects the 88 of Bassett as well. And even the 60 of Goodpasser gets into it a little bit there. Loses it. Slides across the double yellow line on the inside there. And BJ Holton just kind of cruised through it as he could there. Let's see on his replay how that looked. And that's 15 of BJ Holton. You can see him getting a little bit out of sorts there already on the way into turn 1. And then right here is where the contact is made. You can see going, it's kind of sliding up a groove, unfortunately. I think he kind of got loose there. One of those arrow loose situations for Ryan. Car, you could see the sparks, and it just gave way from there. Nowhere else for the drivers around him to go. Yeah, good save for BJ Holton. Gets on the apron there, just kind of does a little bit of a Tokyo drift, and the evasive maneuver doesn't overcorrect it. Clears the 60 of Craighead there as well. Or Goodpasser, not Craighead. So there's less takers on pit road this time, as they should be good to go to the finish from the last pit stop they made. 17 laps to go. It's all about track position now, where you are and where you're going to be by the finish of the race here. How neat would that be for Devin Butchino to have a stellar season this year in honor of his mom? As you see up on the top of the reader board, we got the decal commemorating the Memorial season. And of course, it is kind of been renamed the SCSRA Tammy Butchino Memorial Cup Series, at least for this year, with the Dev Sporting Cards Cup Series still a primary sponsor of the series. Didn't actually get to watch Devin Butchino race much last year. He's won some races, I'm pretty sure. He's one of the big staples, of course. Obviously, as the ticker shows, when you look at his driver stats, he is a winner through and through. 65 career SCSRA Cup Series wins, not necessarily Cup, but through Cup, Xfinity, and Truck. And so maybe looking to add to that tally here with a good run this coming week at Daytona. The duels don't count as an official win, but it'll still feel good nonetheless. The 250-mile Daytona event next week is going to be a good one, folks. Don't want to miss it. Mark your calendar, set a reminder on your phone. If you're not subscribed to Intensity, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you get a reminder whenever the races go live. I'm going to be along the call for all of them this season. I was enjoying my time with the series last year, and it's going to be a blast, that's for sure. Don't want to miss it. Yeah, Jesse Whittington not in the field here is kind of a surprise. I don't know if he's just opting out of the duels or if he's got other obligations going for him this season, but your defending champion, Jesse Whittington, it'd be nice to see him defend that title. We'll see if he shows up for the main event on next Wednesday. So Devin Butchino leads the way over Matt Bands, Christopher Bishop, and Ryan Gomes, your top four. Lauren Vincent still hanging in there in the top five. Good run from him. 15 laps left in the duel to set the stage for next week's Daytona 250. They can't fight for the top two spots as those belong to the drivers that set on pole here tonight. Cameron Craighead and the 24 of Matt Parasini, they're locked in to the front row for the main event. But everyone else trying to fill the slots for third on back to 24th. And at the moment, Devin Butchino would be getting his third position starting spot for the Daytona 250. Matt Bands would be starting fourth. Ryan Gomes in fifth, and so on and so forth as the finishing order would unfold here tonight. We've seen some big wrecks here tonight. Oh, and that was just as big. Hard wreck. Ow, that hurt. I mean, that hurt for me just sitting here at my computer chair. That was the 07 of Lauren Vincent. Man, what a helpless feeling when you get turned that hard into the outside wall. There's just nothing you can do. You're just along for the ride at that point. So let's see the butt kicker replay here tonight on our third caution of the evening. This one, unfortunately, for the 07 of Lauren Vincent is the hardest hit I've seen in a long time. That 23 car gets turned and unfortunately hooks the 07. Bam. Yeah, rough hit. Rough. That was the one of Craighead. I don't know if damaged vehicles are going to affect the starting position for next week's Daytona 250, but your pole setter with a little bit of damage here in this big wreck. Kind of the wreck that didn't stop happening as more drivers just kind of got collected up in it. Christopher Bishop involved in the wreck. That was Bishop that got turned into Vincent there. Wow. Yeah, nasty wreck there. Lauren Vincent had to call the tow truck. Unfortunately, it looks like his day is done. And Samuel Green was kind of the catalyst to that wreck. It looked like he got into the 23 machine of Bishop. Just kind of nudged him there, and that got Bishop loose and spun him out, which in way hooked the 07 of Vincent into the outside wall. So yeah, tonight is just an appetizer for what we got in store next week. As hopefully it's not as heavy on the carnage, but the racing has still been top notch here tonight at Daytona. Truly the wild card race where, you know, sometimes it doesn't matter the equipment. Good luck being at the right spot at the right time. That's how you get these wins here at these super speedways. And so maybe, just maybe, we might see a surprise winner in store. Lights are off in the pace car, and they pick and choose their lane for the restart. 68 of Butchino on the inside, 72 of Baines on the outside. Gomes and Green. Wow, BJ Holton had been tail into the field here tonight, and look at him now. Up into the top 6. He's going to restart on the outside, third in line. Just one of those, you know, calm and calculated, wait it out, let all the chaos and craziness unfold around you, and pick up the pieces when you can. Ten-lap shootout here on a Wednesday night. Should be one for all the marbles. It's going to get good. We still have about 17 competitive cars here that have a shot. Minimal damage, that have a good opportunity to get up with the lead draft here. We have 20 of them on the lead lap. You can see them starting to close in on the lead group here now. The last 3 tailing behind. Once the pace car pulls off, it'll be 9 laps to go here in the Daytona Duel. And we'll pull our podium up to the interview booth here with us and ask them how they felt here tonight at Daytona, what we can expect for the 250 next week and the season going forward. We're ready and rolling.
Green flag.
Back to racing. It's going to be a quick shootout to determine the winners here in the duel. Butchino and Gomes 1-2. Bands falls back to 3rd, and Samuel Green, even though the front end of that number 8 machine looks like it's been pegged with a yard dart, he's still running solid. Hopefully they work together here and avoid any more unnecessary contact and wrecks, but who knows, it's Daytona. You're going to get some contact. You might get a wreck right at the checkered flag as they're coming across the line. Reminds me of the race last year where we had a 3-way finish where all 3 drivers spun out backwards across the start-finish line. It's happened before, and man, I was still amazed at how that one unfolded. It was kind of hard to decide who really won it. They all crossed the start-finish line rear end first, and at that point, the transponders are kind of positioned ahead of the car on the front half, and made for an interesting scenario of, you know,
Caution, yellow flag.
who crossed the line first. And we're back under caution. Caution number 4 of looks like my stream kicked out for a minute there, but we're back. But here is the aftermath of that wreck. Unfortunately, the 07 Lauren Vincent involved in it. He's a lap down, so this was unfortunately just a extension of his bad day. The 02, I'm trying to figure names here. That's Corey Bunch in the 02 car. Let's see how he gets knocked out there. Wow, I think he just lost it. It looked like he just... Yeah, there's just a lot of unusual movement in the field there, and I think he tried to overcorrect it. And then also getting involved, Matt Pericini. Unfortunately, it was Lauren Vincent getting hooked there right at the end. Not of his doing. By what I want to say is Ryan Hufford, perhaps. Yeah, Hufford there in the 83 machine. So caution number 4, it'll give us one more shootout here. It's already been chaotic last couple of restarts. Wild and crazy. And green-white checkers are a thing here, so if they do not see the white flag, we might be going at it for a little while. But let us go through the field here on what could potentially be the last restart of the race. Starting with your starting position here. There you go. Okay, so through the field, Devin Butchino followed by Ryan Gomes, Matt Baines, Samuel Green, Shane Hines, BJ Holton, still holding on for top 10 here. Dana Ryan, who has been through the shredder here tonight, still solidly in the top 10, could rebound for a decent finish still. Behind him, you got Sharn Hill, Cameron Craighead, and Christopher Bishop, Craig Schroeder and Keith Resmondo, Cale Thorpe and David Hartney, Josh Hall as well. Didn't mean to skip over Josh Hall there. Corey Bunch and David Hartney with Nicholas Walthorne. The last of the lead lap. Currently Teddy Romanowski a lap down. Austin Fassett on pit road getting some damage repaired. Ryan Hufford trying to get back around. Lauren Vincent trying to get back around. Matt Parasini's day not looking promising here. And retired out of the event, Jeffrey Goodpasser and Matthew Hobbs. So it's going to be a 5-lap shootout now. Make your bets, place your bids. Who you think's going to get the job done? Butchino is going to go on the outside here as Gomes sticks it on the inside. So Choose Cone changes it up again here as 68 decides to go high. 55 takes that advantage to the low side. If audio maybe reset the stream on your side. I don't know if it's maybe a glitch. I've had that happen on YouTube before where sometimes server side you got to reset the broadcast. If you can't hear me, then I guess you can't hear me yet. But here we go.
Green.
Back and rolling. 5-lap shootout here tonight to determine the winner of the duel. Devin Butchino to the top after the 55 of Gomes. They'll be done with 87.5 miles here tonight distance. As long as we don't get a green-white checkered and extend that distance. Top 4 has not changed very drastically here for the last roughly 10-15 laps. But Shane Hines, he's trying to go on the outside, sneaking around there trying to make something happen. No one went with him though, and he's going to drop backwards like a rock. How about your pole setter, Cameron Craighead, back up into the top 5 here. Even though I thought he had some damage, but apparently they got it pretty well shaped away. Top 5 run for your pole setter. Could he get a little bit better than that even? You can see the serpent, kind of the slithering at the front of the field as the drivers try to work around the draft here. Devin Butchino leads. The 55 wants it. The 72 wants it. The 8 wants it. Everyone else wants it behind him. How is he going to be able to hold off the hard chargers that want to steal the win here tonight? Couple laps left to go. Next time by, they'll see the white flag.
Yellow flag is out.
Well, and we're going to get some overtime here tonight in the SCSRA Cup Series. We're under caution for the 5th time this evening. And we're going to get treated to an extra restart promised to us through overtime rules. Green, white, checkered. Attempt number 1 on the way. But first, let's dial up the butt kicker replay. And who was part of this caution here? 3 wide, you can see in the middle that orange and blue car. That is Josh Hall. 3 wide with the 5 of Sharon Hill. Oh, and the 49. That's been the pivotal point of many of the wrecks here tonight. That's Dana Ryan yet again. I think he's been involved in 3 of the 5 wrecks here tonight. Unfortunately, collects the 81 of Josh Hall down the front stretch. It's hard to say if Josh Hall got a little bit loose there. Kind of looked like Ryan was holding his line. Man, it's one of those racing deals. It's just hard to tell. Look at the... I'm looking at the seam. Man, he... I'm just trying to be the broadcaster without any bias. No, just all neutral position here. Position. You can see it looks like Ryan holding that line. He does kind of cut below the line. I don't know if he realizes they're 3 wide there on the inside. 81 gets a little bit loose. He's held up by the 20. And the 81 comes up, and the 49 was just kind of right there. So one of those racing deals. It's hard to place blame. Unfortunately, Josh Hall gets the worst end of it there. Well, we're in for a treat. Some SCSRA overtime here tonight at Daytona in the duel. You wouldn't think that much is on the line, but starting position for the Daytona 250 is a pretty big deal, especially since it's the season opener. This kind of gets everyone a feel for the track, gives them a little bit extra seat time at Daytona. And tonight kind of gives them the rundown, the shakedown, who they can work with, who they need to avoid on the racetrack. You know, some drivers now learned it's like, hey, this guy right here might not be a good drafting partner. Or, hey, let's work with this guy next Wednesday because I think he's got the best push ability. So things like that is definitely what they're learning here tonight, figuring out who to do the dance with to best get themselves a position to win it. And rolling into the 250-mile race next week, you're going to want to have a good track position to start. If you start up front, you might be able to avoid more wrecks, stay out of more trouble. And so, of course, if you start up front, that means more opportunities to get up front and lead laps here as well. Alrighty, getting doubled up for another restart here tonight. We'll see if it's the last one. It could be one of few if we get some more wrecks before the white flag drops. Seemed to work well for Butchino to take that outside line. He was able to get down on the inside with the 55 of Gomes. Those two teammates over on Neon Racing side, so it goes to show that working together as a team for them is kind of the main goal right now. But even when you're teammates, who's going to want to fight a little bit harder to take the duel win? Regardless, do you want to push the envelope or just kind of settle into line and finish this thing out? Don't want to push the envelope and wreck each other, then really jeopardize your starting position for the Daytona 250. So it's kind of a catch-20, definitely. You don't want to, you don't want to let your aggression take over. But at the same time, you don't want to just look like you're on team orders either. So it's gonna be interesting to see which card they pull from the deck here to finish it out. They're still gonna have to defend a bunch of hard chargers behind them. So whatever they do, working together might be the key here. The 68 and the 55 get hooked up together, nose to tail. They can walk away with this and finish 1-2 tonight.
Green flag.
Green-white checkered, attempt number 1. Devin Butchino to the top spot. Gomes defending on the 72. And just as quickly as the 68 moves down on the inside line, everyone else falls in line, single file. Hard for them to get cooperative and work together here to draft up to the lead. But I think you got Samuel Green and Matt Bands with a hard charge behind your two leaders. They might be making a move here before the end of the race. Look at how tight they are. And now that just means that the 55 of Gomes and the 68 of Butchino need to work just a little harder together because they are charging. They're charging hard. 72 thought about it. Man, it's getting all kinds of electric at the front of the field. Look like Adams moving around on the racetrack. They haven't lost it yet. They're still staying forward. No one's wrecked or turned around. It's your top three kind of single file on the inside. Bands clears the outside line, keeping the lead in range. Here he goes on the outside. Good push from the 23 of Bishop. Man, it's going to be a gaggle of cars. The 55 loose. They're all losing it behind them. Your top four rolling around the front stretch here. It's going to be the 72 of Matt Bands and Bishop side by side for the lead. Bishop takes it there over Bands right at the ticker. Wow, what a wild finish to the duels here tonight. Christopher Bishop kind of from nowhere. He worked with Bands on that last lap, but he actually took the advantage, the draft. Man, that was a wild last lap there. Your race winner, duel winner, Christopher Bishop in the 23 Ford Mustang Mobile 1 entry. He earned that one here tonight. You can see the rookie stripes on the back there. He may or may not be a rookie here in the SCSRA Cup Series, as I haven't researched enough past season 11. I covered the races last year, season 11. So Bishop tentatively rookie runner of the season so far, winning the duel, setting himself up for a good starting position in next week's Daytona 250. And it looks like I have lost iRacing, at least for now. But if the broadcast is still going, I was going to try to see Bishop burn it down, celebrate in style, but I think we're just going to have to go back to replays here for now. Oh, I think it's setting up for the next stage is the thing. It 23 seconds. Yeah, it already went to the what would technically be duel number 2 if we had more cars in the field. And the replays are going to be a little bit topsy-turvy, as I don't know if I have to actually go into iRacing here to reset the stages. Yeah, into session. Okay. Apologies. A little bit of confusion here at the end, but nonetheless, we will interview our top 3 finishers. Yeah, it was Bishop, Bands, and Butchino, your top 3. Last year, they just kind of run this as a kind of a goof-off race, so we'll keep the stream rolling. I don't know if they're going to be available for interviews at the moment, if they're going to go back out there. So this is kind of what we call the fun run after the duel. And so when we can, we'll go ahead and pull them into the booth. We'll do it kind of in car, like they do on Fox, where they dial up the race radio as they're on the track, give them a quick chat and whatnot. But your top 3 as they are here, rolling out for the fun run. Christopher Bishop, Matt Bands, and Devin Butchino, your 3 finishers. And I will go ahead and I'll go ahead and just in-car cam, we'll pull in the winner. And that would be the 23 of Christopher Bishop. Jacob in the booth, do you copy, Christopher?
Yes, I do. How are you?
Good, good. How are you? That was an exciting finish.
That was a crazy finish. One of the best ones I've had in a while for sure.
How did you pull that off? I mean, I saw you working with the 72. You were actually kind of forced to work with the 72 there when he cut toe on the inside line. The outside line was cooking. And then all of a sudden you had another guy they had to work with ahead of you. How did you pull that off?
Yeah, so all night long that outside line was dying. The inside line was the move all night long. But I knew I had 10 laps to go. I was towards the back of the pack after that first crash. I knew I had to get out there if I wanted a chance at winning it. Pulled it out there. The 72 came out in front of me, and I got lucky. I don't know. I just got lucky. I was able to get next to him. The side draft pulled me across the line.
Yeah, it was exciting and very clean too. Everything about it, you worked with him, and then all of a sudden found that opening and took it. How does this make you feel rolling into the 250 next week?
Oh, I'm really excited. I think I've got a good shot. I'm a rookie this season, but I feel like I've showed myself pretty well here early in the season, and I'm ready to have some fun. I'm ready to get out there, show people that I want to be up top.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. Just going out there for fun. I love to hear it. Um, Fresh face. It's always nice to interview someone new. I've been doing this now for second season, so I'm still kind of a rookie under the belt here. So, is there any friends, families, and sponsors you want to thank for putting you up to this spot here?
Yeah, no, I wanna thank everybody that's put this together. I want to thank my family, as well as my main sponsor, Associated Insurance Agencies, out of Columbus, Ohio. They're great people. But other than that, it's just I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to keep running, and I hope this season's great for everyone.
Well, awesome, my dude. We look forward to seeing more from you this season. Celebrate that dual win like any other, and we'll see you in the next race.
All right, thank you.
Yep. And so your dual winner, Christopher Bishop. We will go ahead and interview our second place finisher, Mr. Matt Bands in the 72 machine. Jacob in the booth. Do you copy, Matt?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Well, how about that? Man, it looked close. You were gonna try to go for it there. I appreciate the aggression. Come up just short, finishing second in this duel here tonight. Walk me through that last stretch of the race there. How did that all pan out, materialize for you?
Well, I was staying behind the 55 and the 68, and I knew that they were fast, and I was just kind of playing the waiting game, and was just waiting till the last lap to see what would happen, and I saw them kind of forming a line behind me, and I'm like, going down the back, I think I might just make my move, and so I just jumped up there and got the really good pushes. And it almost worked, man. It almost worked. That 23 was I think it was 23 was pushing me really really good, and I tried to block low coming to the line, but he got me on the outside. I tried to side draft him, but I was glad that I had a shot from early on in the race. I didn't think I'd have a shot, but I was glad that I did.
Well, it's definitely a wild, exciting final lap of the race. There was a lot of chaos going on behind you. Luckily, you were able to steer clear of all that, and then, yeah, then it was a four-dog fight to the finish line, and the 23 he outran you there to the finish line. How does this set you up for the main run next week at the Daytona 250?
Yeah, it gives me a lot of good momentum going in. I didn't have the best qualifying time that I wanted. I just didn't get it where I wanted it, and knew that I had to be a little more aggressive, I guess, and it paid off really good in the end, and I was able to set myself up, and he just got the side draft on me, and I couldn't on him. I didn't want to wreck him, but I was happy for him that he got a dual win. That's it's great momentum heading into the season. It's going to be a lot of fun racing with these guys.
Well, and you seem to have these super speedway tracks figured out. I've noticed the last year you did pretty good when it came to the super speedways. Just kind of one of your wheelhouse tracks, feel like.
Yeah, it's just something about it. I just love, it's one of those love-hate relationships with plate tracks and pack racing and all that. And I don't know why I just feel very confident in these because I can put my car in good positions, and I'm not as good of tire saving as a lot of the other guys that I race with, so it gives me a chance to kind of just put my car into more aggressive spots and make it work out.
Well, is there any friends, family, sponsors you want to thank here tonight for getting you up to this point?
Yeah, I want to thank my parents and family. They've been super supportive of me doing all this, and they like to tune in a lot. And I want to thank my absolutely amazing and supportive partner out in LA right now. So I want to thank him for being as supportive as he just completely supportive as possible. And I want to thank the team, Royalty Motorsports, and Majestic Clothing and SM Racing and all them. They give me fantastic cars on the speedways. So just gonna try to go out there and win it for them next week.
Heck yeah, I love to hear it. Thanks for chatting with us, and we look forward to seeing it throughout the season.
Thank you, sir.
And with the last interview, I'll go ahead and pull in Devin Butchino just for a quick interview here, and we'll close out the stream. Devin, this is Jacob in the booth. Do you copy?
Yeah, what's going on, brother?
Oh, not a whole lot. I enjoyed watching that race here tonight. One heck of a race for sure. How'd you feel out there tonight?
1 second, we're going green in this race. Hold on. Okay, we're good. Yeah, it felt pretty good. I haven't actually raced in the SCSRA since August, so it took a season off. And then the season before that, I was only running part-time, so this was the perfect race to get out there and knock the rust off, per se. Obviously, a lot of things change with these cars and the drivers that are in this league. So my lack of track time will, the next 2 weeks being at Daytona, it'll bail me out a little bit, which is good. So, yeah, it was just good to get back out here, see everyone, and then, just get used to whipping these things around again.
Heck yeah. Excited for the season and the format, getting into the chase this year. Has that been something that the SCSRA has ever had before?
No, it's not, and I'm glad that they implemented it while I was away. I was gonna I did ask them about that, and I'm glad they did confirm they're switching to that because it just rewards consistency. If you've been familiar with the league, there's always been that battle at the cutoff line is 8th to 15th has always been pretty crazy. So I assure you it'll be even crazier with the new chase, but it'll definitely reward consistency more than other seasons, which I like. The guys that show up and give it their all, they'll definitely get rewarded in this new format. So I'm excited. It was time.
Cool. Well, yeah, no, it's going to be a great season. I'm excited for it. I came along for the call last year for the first season that I've covered with you guys, and I'm more than excited, more than stoked to be part of the action again this year. It's honorable to have your mom be the memorial for the season, so it's the Tammy Butchino Memorial Cup Series this year, and I'm sure it's got to be heavy, but it's definitely something that'll make you smile at the end of the day too, paying tribute to your mom.
Yeah, no, it definitely is a heavy situation, but these guys have kept her in their thoughts and prayers, everyone that's been in this league since we found out she got sick, 5 or so years ago. So once I saw that, I was mulling, returning, but once I saw that, I'm definitely coming out of retirement to race in the league again and definitely get my head out of everything that's going on for a couple hours, a couple nights a week. And I'm just honored that they care as much as they do. Ryan, Sylvan, Josh, Sharn, Lauren, for just working as hard as they did to keep this going while I was away, because this has been a big part of all of our lives for over 5 years now. So it's just a testament to the character of those guys, the heart of those guys, the compassion of those guys. And yeah, there's no other group that I'd be racing with, and I'm very thankful that they're honoring her, because we all know she'd be tuning in right there with you. So she loved the league, and I'm happy that they're doing that for her. I'm extremely honored for her.
Well, is there any other sponsors, friends, or family you want to thank here tonight before we close out the stream?
Yeah, I just want to thank you. Hopefully I talk to you quite a bit over the next couple months. So Thank you, everyone at Intensity, for stepping up and doing this for us. You guys put on a great show always. We really appreciate it. And then, yeah, just all the guys at the SCSRA, every admin, every driver, appreciate them showing up and making this is what it is. And we will, hopefully we have a good season 11, and I'm very excited to be back.
Awesome. Well, have a good one, my dude, and we'll see you in the next one.
I appreciate it, brother. You have a great night.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you.
And that, folks, is a wrap here tonight for the duel, the Daytona Duel for the SCSRA Tammy Butchino Memorial Cup Series this year. Thank you for everyone tuning in. I saw a peak of 28 people tuned in. That is awesome. I love to see that. I'm used to 15 or less on my little NR 2003 simulated racing series. So jumping into iRacing has been a bit of a challenge for me, but I have embraced that challenge and I'm rolling with it as it keeps coming my way. I'm enjoying it. Hopefully I'm putting on a good broadcast for all of you. I'm hoping to pull out all the stops this year and maybe do some more graphics, more designs to try and keep it interesting, keep it exciting. I'm here for the long haul, folks. If SCSRA Cup Series wants to keep bringing me back, I'll be there. So thanks again, everyone. Have a safe night. Have a great night. Be safe out there. And until next time,